Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? I had to chime back in. I wanted to talk about something that one of you guys had commented on the last video in regard to the odds for the Spence Pacquiao fight. Now, I looked it up. They got Errol Spence as a minus 250 right now, but all that shit, of course, could change between now and the time of the fight. And that shit don't really mean nothing to me anyway, because the real underdog in this fight, and it's clear from people's reactions, a lot of people's predictions, and just the overall energy that I'm getting from the masses, Errol Spence Jr. is the underdog in this fight. There's still a lot of people. Yeah, I told you. I seen y'all, man, in the comment sections on live when they had the Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao press conference yesterday. Yeah, I seen y'all, man. Everybody talking about, Earl, he ain't the same no more. He slurring his speech. He drunk. He high. He this, he that. Manny Pacquiao gonna smash Errol Spence. He drained. He look like he's struggling to make weight. He look like he's sleepy. You know what I'm saying? Earl the True Spence Jr. ain't no match for Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao too much for him. The speed, the power, the angles. It's too much. Look, man. Errol the True Spence Jr. is the underdog in this fight. And I told y'all when I did the very first breakdown on this fight, once it actually became official, was that the energy Errol Spence is going to take into this fight is going to be similar to when he went overseas to fight Kell Brook. Though this fight is happening in America, in Vegas, and though Manny Pacquiao is from the Philippines, most of the fans there are going to be Manny Pacquiao fans. Just like when Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao. We know Floyd was obviously the biggest star, and he was the favorite in the fight, but everybody was really rooting for Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? But in this fight, it's going to be more the same, except I think Errol Spence is going to be like really the underdog going into the fight. Everybody looking at Spence as this slow, flat-footed guy coming off of an accident, not being the same. They looking at Manny Pacquiao as the legend, the icon that's been here and done that, even though he's lost 6 times, 6 or 7 times, and even though he's been KO'd 3 times to the head and to the body. You know what I'm saying? Even though we've seen the history of Manny Pacquiao, who's a great fighter, legendary fighter, and this is going to be a fantastic matchup. And I can understand why people will pick Manny Pacquiao. Styles make fights, and I can understand why people will pick Errol the True Spence Jr., but the consensus, the vibe that I'm getting from the masses is that Manny Pacquiao is just too much for Errol Spence, and Errol Spence, he not ready. He not the same. So I think that only works in Errol Spence's favor. I think that makes him a more dangerous fighter. He's already insanely focused right now. He's extremely focused right now and in the best shape of his life. He's probably having one of the best camps that he ever had. He got Blu-ray back. He understands that this fight is the biggest fight of his career. So you're going to get an Errol Spence that's extremely focused, sharp, and on point, ready to go in there and make a statement and show how dominant he really is. And for him to be looked at as the underdog, and like I said, with this being in Vegas, it's going to feel like a road game for Errol Spence. When he walks in the arena, when Manny Pacquiao walk in, I think even though Earl is the champion, they probably going to bring out Earl first and then bring out Manny second. So when Earl walk in, he going to get a lot of boos. He going to get some cheers as well. He going to get a lot of cheers, but he going to get a lot of boos. When Manny walk in, it's going to be straight cheers. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be no type of boos whatsoever. It's going to be straight cheers when Manny walk in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? When Earl walk in, you going to hear some boos. I'm telling you. Get ready for it. Just like the Kell Brook fight. When Earl walked out there versus Kell Brook, Motherfuckers was throwing shit. They was saying all type of shit to him. All you seen when Earl was walking to the ring, you seen Earl cheesing. You know what I'm saying? Just soaking it all up. He like that type of shit drive Errol Spence. That type of shit turn Earl to a real savage. You know what I'm saying? So get ready for that. You gonna hear motherfuckers booing, saying all type of shit. You know, people gonna be making all type of gestures while he walking to the ring. And trust me, you gonna see Errol Spence focused as hell, but you gonna see him smiling. He gonna love that shit. And Manny Pacquiao, he's gonna be looked at as the favorite. And like I said, this is gonna be a road game type of fight for Errol Spence, and I think it's gonna bring the best out of him. I think you're gonna see Errol Spence just on another level. You know, really, he gonna really show his dominance in this fight and really try to put a beating on Manny Pacquiao. First few rounds is gonna be very interesting because it's gonna be a lot of high energy. Manny Pacquiao gonna be feeding off of the energy of the crowd. He gonna be like a jitterbug, moving in and out, doing his thing. Errol Spence trying to keep the fight in the middle of the ring, using his jab, being patient, and then as the fight go on, you gonna see Earl putting immense pressure on Manny Pacquiao, breaking him down and just doing him dirty. But it's gonna look, when he win, it's gonna feel like the underdog won. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to hear no excuses from the people that's bringing this type of energy to the fight right now, you know, saying that Earl ain't this, he ain't that. I don't want to hear no excuses about Manny Pacquiao being old when he get his ass whooped. I don't want to hear none of that shit, because after Errol Spence go out there and do what I think he gonna do, it's gonna feel like the underdog won. But then there's gonna be an undertone of a whole lot of people talking about, well, this was supposed to happen. He's a younger guy, he's bigger, he this, he that. But just like with the Danny Garcia fight, y'all remember before the Danny Garcia fight, all these same people were saying that Errol Spence, he got brain damage, he's slurring his speech, he can't take a punch. He showed you that he could take some solid shots. He didn't get hit a lot versus Danny because his defense was that sharp. But he did take a few decent shots, some shit that was on the guard that kind of slipped through the guard. He also took a shot at the end of the bell from Danny Garcia, which was a clean open shot because it was actually after the bell, and Earl took that shit well. You know what I'm saying? But people before that fight was saying, Earl, you know, he can't take a punch. He ain't the same. And then after the fight, they said, oh, he was supposed to do that to Danny. He was supposed to dominate Danny. It's going to be the same shit, bro. Just keep that same energy. If you saying that Errol Spence is going to lose, keep that same energy when he win. That means if you thought he was going to lose, you supposed to give him the highest praise because he surprised you and he defied the odds. He did something that you didn't think he could do. So you need to bow the fuck down and kiss the motherfucking ring. That's what I want you to do. Keep that same energy because Errol Spence is coming into this fight as the underdog. So when the underdog win, you need to treat it as such. You know what I'm saying? Keep that same energy. But I'm telling you, all this shit that y'all doing, all this type of energy that y'all putting out there, if you really rooting for Manny Pacquiao, you might want to chill on that because you ain't doing that but making it worse on your savior. You making it worse on this man. I'm telling you, he gonna get beat up so bad that Freddie Roach gonna have to throw that towel in, or the ref gonna have to peel Earl up off of him. Get up off of him. You know what I'm saying? That's too much. That's enough. We seen enough. You know what I'm saying? So I really wanted to touch on that, man, and shout out to who that was that asked me about the odds of this fight, because I knew that on paper they got Earl listed as a very slight favorite, but from the people, he not the favorite going into this fight. It's Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? So Errol Spence is the underdog, and trust and believe, if they bring Earl out first, even though he the champion, and this shit ain't gonna be in Texas, Earl gonna take this shit as an underdog. You know what I'm saying? He gonna take this shit as coming into the fight as an underdog. You know what I mean? And all that shit Manny Pacquiao talking about, you know, I think he better than Floyd, you know, cause he's standing toe to toe. All right, you think you gonna do, and Earl no. That's why Earl said, yeah, Manny Pacquiao try to butter you up and then go in the ring, you know what I'm saying, and try to do this and do that. Man, Earl ain't falling for that dumbass shit. He gonna fight his fight. He gonna be Errol Spence. He ain't trying to be Floyd. He ain't trying to be nobody else. He gonna be Errol the True Spence Jr. And you seen that he can fight multiple styles and he can do whatever he need to do to get the victory. And you gonna see he gonna come in there. He gonna first couple of rounds. He gonna use his range and try to, you know what I'm saying, just kind of see, get the speed, adjust to the speed and the athleticism of Manny. After that, he gonna be pressing forward, trying to beat the motherfucking brakes off Manny Pacquiao. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you now. It's gonna be crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. How y'all feel about the odds? Who you think is the favorite and the underdog, man? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Contender regime, boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.